first graders. Today I'm going to read you a chapter book. It's a short chapter book. It has 3 chapters. I'll read you the first 2 chapters today, and then I'll read you the 3rd chapter tomorrow. So since we're at the end of first grade, you're getting ready for some short chapter books. So this is called King Kafu and the Moon. Okay, chapter 1. So chapter books don't have as many illustrations, so you've got to use your imagination to imagine what might be happening in the story. Long ago, in a far-off land in a tiny village, there lived a king. His name was Kafu. "I am so brave," bragged King Kafu. "I'm not afraid of anything." King Kafu's people thought he was the bravest king in the world. The thing was, King Kafu wasn't as brave as everyone thought. He had a big secret. King Kafu was afraid of the dark. Are any of you afraid of the dark? Sometimes I am when I go outside. Every evening he would go to bed before it got dark. He would close his curtains and put on his sparkly pajamas. Then he would switch on his secret nightlight and get into bed. He loved his nightlight. It made the darkness in his bedroom go away, even when the sun went to bed. My secret is I'm afraid of the dark when we go camping because of bats. I'm really afraid of bats. One night, as usual, King Kafu pressed the switch on his nightlight, but the nightlight didn't come on. "Arr!" screamed King Kafu. He felt very afraid. King Kafu hid under his covers as the sun went down. After a while, he felt braver, and he peeked out. He saw the light from the moon peeping through his curtains. He had only ever heard about the moon. I guess he hasn't seen the moon because he hasn't been outside, because he's afraid of the dark. He had never actually seen it. It was so bright and round. "That's it," he said. "I will leave my curtains open at night. Then the light from the moon can keep my bedroom bright." A few nights later, King Kafu went to bed as usual, but when the moon rose, it looked different. A piece of the moon was missing. The next night, King Kafu waited for the moon again. This time, even more of the moon was missing. "Yar!" King Kafu screamed. King Kafu's guard charged into the king's bedroom. "What is the matter?" he asked. "The moon, it's disappearing," cried King Kafu. The guard looked up at the sky. He could indeed see that some of the moon was missing. Do any of you know why some of the moon is missing? I bet you do. "We must save the moon," said King Kafu. "Tell the villagers I will give 1,000 gold coins to anyone who can capture the moon. I will keep the moon in the palace where I can keep an eye on it." Okay, we're going to read chapter 2 today also, and then we'll go to chapter 3 tomorrow. Chapter 2. You can see I've got Thor here with me at school. The next day, the guard made the announcements to the villagers. "The moon is disappearing," he said. "King Kafu will give 1,000 gold coins to anyone who can bring the moon to him." The villagers were confused. The moon had disappeared before, and it always came back again. But there was a reward of 1,000 gold coins. So they started thinking of ways to capture the moon. They decided to build a rocket. They worked nonstop for 11 days and nights. Finally, the rocket was finished. But when the villagers looked up at the sky, the moon was gone. "We must tell King Kafu," said the king's guard. He pointed to a young villager. "You, boy," he said, "go and find the king. Tell him the moon is gone." The boy nodded and immediately set off for the palace. The boy searched the palace for the king. It took him a long time, but eventually the boy found King Kafu. He was hiding under his bed covers. "Why are you hiding?" asked the boy. "I'm afraid of the dark," King Kafu whimpered. That's why I wanted to catch the moon and bring it to the palace. Then it would never be dark again. My people would think I'm the bravest king in the world. But I am not. No one must know my secret ever." The boy felt sorry for King Kafu. "Don't worry," the boy said. "We will find the moon and bring it to you." The boy returned to the village. "We must find the moon's hiding place," he told the villagers. The villagers agreed. First, they collected fishing rods and butterfly nets to help them catch the moon. Then the boy, the guard, and some villagers climbed on board the rocket. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, blast off! The villagers cheered, and the rocket shot up into the sky. What they're going to do on that rocket. We'll find out tomorrow in our last chapter, chapter 3. So for your writing today, whoopsies, I want you to use the word whimpered in a complete sentence in your journal. So this is the word whimpered. And in our story today, the end of chapter 2, I'm going to read you that part again. It said, "Why are you hiding?" asked the boy. "I'm afraid of the dark," King Kafu whimpered. So if you whimper, you usually do that when you're scared. You might whimper like, "Oh, I don't want to go outside. It's too dark out there." Or when I see bats when I'm camping, I go, "Oh, I'm scared of the bats. I have to go into the tent now." You whimper when you're scared. A whimper might just be a noise like, "Ooh," if you're nervous. My dog Thor has been whimpering at school because I think he wants to go outside and he wants to play right now. So whimper is usually something you do when you're not happy, you're scared, or you want something. So I want you to use that word whimpered in a complete sentence. I noticed in some of your writing that's come back that some of you are forgetting we always, always, always start a sentence with a capital letter. And I want what's called super neat writing. Super neat writing is when you take your time. You don't just do those letters quick. You take your time and you write nice and neat, and you make sure those letters are where they should be in the lines, that they're spaced the way they should be. You have those nice finger spaces between your words. Now that you're almost second graders, really work on that super neat writing. And I can't wait to see it. Some of you have your parents take a picture and send it to me. Some of you send it in with your packets. Either way is fine. I just like looking at what you're doing at home and seeing you doing such a great job using those vocabulary words in complete sentences. All right, bye first graders.